What is up, guys? Today I come to you with a double review of Hatsukoi Monster episodes 9 and 10. Now, this is with episodes 9 and 10. I assume we possibly have like at least 2 more episodes, possibly 3, making a total of 13 episodes, but it's drawing to a close very quickly. As you can see, the year has gone by so quickly, to the point where it's like we're about to say Happy New Year's to each other once again. So starting with episode 9, remembering from episode 8 how, they broke up, Kaho and Kanade broke up, and, Kanade was not responding to Kaho, which caused her to be very heartbroken. So she left the house and went back to her own home, and we find out that Kanade really does miss Kanade. He does really care for her, and he comes to realize he does love her. So he, with the help of Taga, goes set out to get Kaho and bring her back to the shared household complex. We are introduced to a new character who is Kaho's older brother by the name of Dai Koku. I'm gonna say Dai because I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm just gonna call him Dai. He has, as many would say, a very large sister complex towards his sister. Like, it's so, like, he's a pretty character, but this guy is so weird. Like, whatever his sister eats, whatever she uses to eat with, he'll take that as a sample. If she bathes in water and the water is still there, he'll gather up the water in multiple plastic bottles. This guy just loves his sister just a little bit too much, and he's willing to do anything to make her happy. Like, he has a major sister complex towards Kaho. And I mean, he does care for her, but the way he goes about it is just like, it's really creepy. Like, and we found out that he was living in America for some time, but he came back, and when Kaho asked him the question, like, what were you doing in America, he would not respond what he was doing. But I possibly can assume the reason why he's in America, he probably wants to do something with, outer space or astronauts, because he had a lot of merchandise that had NASA on it. But eventually, Kanade and Taga reach by where Kaho's old home is, and there, in order to retrieve back Kaho, they play, the red light, green light, the game that we used to play a lot when we were children. And we see where they're talking with each other and and Kanade's telling Kaho his feelings. And even to the point where we saw Kaho saying, she's rejecting the idea of them being boyfriend and girlfriend again, because she's thinking the same thing will repeat itself, that he doesn't understand, he's being selfish, and the fact that she's older, she's going to want more out of a relationship. But of course, the other party is 5 years younger than she is. But the funniest thing was how Kanade he practically proposed to her, saying that, let's get married, and then he sang her a song for his love for her. But of course, they're not going to get married, but they made a promise, a pinky swear promise, that they will get married. But my suspicions are that, 5 years from now, who's to say that that promise will last? And possibly Kaho will be the one who's going to be latching onto that promise, while Kanade, he's going to go through many changes, both physically possibly, but definitely mentally. And who's to say he's going to keep with that promise and, go off with someone else? We never know until they show, like, what's going to happen 5 years afterwards. So the episodes end with them getting back together. By episode 10, they come back home to the household complex, and they're met with a surprise, and that's with Mayufu marrying Kanade's father. So a wedding's about to happen. All his friends is there, and everybody that's living in the household complex, and they're there to view the wedding. But it was actually just a huge scandal, because really Mayufu was marrying an unconscious Takanashi. Takanashi was unconscious, and he does not know what's going on. And for a second, you would have saw Kanade just flip the heck out, because he's like, his father only loves the dead wife, dead mother. So it was just a whole lot of mess. This chick, like, I mean, she's the craziest character that we have seen. I mean, yes, Kaho's brother is weird and everything, but Mayufu just hands down is the creepiest and weirdest. Like, this chick is just straight up savage. Like, she says so, she's saying some mean things. I mean, Taga is savage as hell as well, but she's like psychotic, and she's trying to push marriage on an unconscious man. And she's like, they did say in episode 9 that the legal age to marry for a male and female, a female has to be 16 and a male has to be 18. So in order for them to get married, they have to be that age. And Maifu being at least a year older than Kaho, she's legal to marry. So she tried to push a marriage onto someone that did not want a marriage, and as well as that he was not well aware of. So it ends up in failure. Okay, we find out that her looking that pretty is actually all makeup covered on her face. We find it was a very touching moment in the episode as well, where even though the mother passed away, they have so much love in their heart. But even what's his name? I forgot. Chiaki's boyfriend. He's like, they have so much love in them. When you pursue love, to the point where it's like the heart yearns. But what happens when all that love, where does that love go when it cannot be received by the other person? And then he starts tearing up because he's scared that his girlfriend Chiaki, something may bad happen to her. Like, he doesn't want her to die. And that was like the touching moment of the episode. And we get to like close to the end of the episode where her brother, Kaho's brother, came and is trying to pretend to be Kaho in the bathtub just to scare Kanade. And Kanade ends up seeing her brother in the bathtub, and he's trying to think that, oh, that's Kaho, but it wasn't. And then it came to the part where he saw Kaho like semi-naked. She's in her underwear, and he was not affected by it. And then she feels troubled by it. And it's been stated since the first episode that he is a child. So a child would not be affected by seeing someone naked. It's not until we get older and then, a lot of things are pushed onto us to like stray from, the inappropriate things. And that's when we start shielding ourselves. But as a child, you're innocent. You're not going to care for these things. So like, for her to get upset that Kanade was not, afflicted by her seeing her naked or something like that, like it was pretty obvious, because he's still a kid and he wouldn't care for something like that. So she's upset by that by the end of the episode. And I hope, she's been kind of done since the beginning of the episode, since the very beginning. But hopefully there's a clear understanding, because there's too much unclear understandings on her side of it. And she has to remember, at the end of the day, she is dealing with a child. You fell in love with a child, so you can't get upset with him if he doesn't react a certain way, as whereas someone that's like Taga's age or your age and older, you can't expect that. So that was basically what happened in those 2 episodes. We don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the preview for episode 11, but let's see if things can get patched up once again between these 2 unique couple. So if you saw episode 9, episode 10 of Hatsukoi Monster, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts, like, as it's coming to a wrap, it's coming to a close. What are your thoughts for the final episode for Hatsukoi Monster? The links are in the description box, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!